everybody, welcome back. I know that I barely posted anything throughout most of 2020. I had these big, great, huge plans of making a lot of really good content and kind of trying to entertain people during this really hard time. But unfortunately, with my daughter at home from school all of the time and having to homeschool her through, I mean, we were getting help from her school, but still we had to homeschool her and all that stuff. And on top of that, just the general depression and malaise that comes with being stuck at home all of the time and not being able to see anybody. I just didn't get very much done. And then we added on top of that the wonderful addition of moving during a pandemic. And so we had to move house. We didn't have to, but the home we were in had a lot of problems that really couldn't be fixed in a timely manner. And so we moved. We bought a house finally. This is we're first time homeowners and hopefully only time homeowners. I don't ever want to move again. But this house is also a lot smaller than the one we had before. However, the house we had before was a condo and we are sacrificing some of that space to have a yard. Hopefully this summer, when things get a little bit nicer outside, since it's so cold right now, I will be able to do some videos of us putting together our garden. About maybe a quarter of our yard is going to be beds and a pop-up greenhouse. The pop-up greenhouse is going to be for some of the plants that are a little more invasive. So my mints, a few years ago, I grew probably 6 or 7 different types of mint on my porch in pots, and even having them in pots away from each other, they tried to kind of put their little branches out and plant in each other's pots. I had to keep my mint very far away from each other and from everything else. So, by the way, if you are thinking about doing any home gardening, keep your mint in pots. Keep apple mint as far away from everything as you can. That was the most invasive. But I also have a few other herbs I would just like to keep in pots because herbs are generally easy to grow, especially things like thyme, oregano, basil. But there's certain things you can do to the soil that can help them taste better. So I want to be able to have a lot of control over the soil. Anyway, point is we're going to have 2 to 3 fairly large garden beds where we're going to grow lots of fruits and vegetables and a pop-up greenhouse. I found one on Amazon for fairly inexpensive with shelves in it to grow a lot of our herbs. And then we have a little back garden where the previous owners planted some flowers that I'm not particularly fond of myself, and we are going to tear up that whole section. I'm going to plant some Irish ivy and probably some more herbs that are a little less invasive and don't require quite as much specialty time. So today, it's the first time shooting in the new place. My lighting is still off. I haven't done my makeup in probably a year at this point. I can't wait to take some selfies, though. I think I did a pretty good job. I am very happy to have a reason to do my makeup. You can see behind me my usual yarn setup, some of my fabric. Things are very chaotic in my craft room right now. Not only have I been spending some time teaching my daughter how to sew, but also I've been doing a few projects myself. I've been making masks and surgical caps for friends who work in the medical industry, and also it's just chaos because of seasonal affect. I haven't really been keeping up with cleaning. At least in my craft room, this is sort of my last priority in my home because I'm the only one who uses it. So I'm not too worried about it being a bit messy. In any case, I'm settled in enough that I can do a video, and the number one reason I wanted to do this video is if you're a crafter and you use Facebook, probably also Instagram, there have been advertisements from KnitCrate where for only $5 you can try what would normally be a $25 KnitCrate thing. So I ended up ordering it. I really loved doing the yarn box unboxings that I did back in 2018, and I missed doing it, and this was a great opportunity. I'm at a point now financially where I'm making enough money to subscribe to something like this again. So, yay masks. I don't like that I've profited somewhat off of the pandemic, so I have given quite a bit of money to charity over the last year. But my friends want to support me and I want to make sure they're safe. So I offered masks for a very inexpensive price. And as a result, I have expendable income for the first time in a long time. So I ordered the KnitCrate, and if I love it, we're about to see if I do. I haven't opened it yet. It just came today. Then I'm going to order it. I'm going to keep ordering it. I'm not going to cancel my subscription, and we'll do a few of them and we'll see how I like them until maybe I don't want to do the KnitCrate anymore and I want to try a different company. This first one, I had no stipulations. You can choose like a color family, that sort of thing on their website. I have no stipulations for this one. I just ordered this. I just said, whatever you want to put in it. And the reason I did that is I feel like if you say whatever you want to put in it, they're going to put something that's maybe the less popular of all of their options. And some of the stuff that they say they're going to be offering is high end enough that I'm like, okay, because I would spend about $25 on that buying it from the store. And this way I don't have to go to the store. So anyway, we're going to check out and see what they sent, because if it's still something I like, then we know that even the bottom of the barrel, the stuff that, the stuff that's the least popular colors, or, the other stipulations that you can, the other categories you can order from on their website. If this is still likable, then that means pretty much everything I'm going to get is going to be something likable. Unlike with Darn Good Yarn, where the yarns, I still have them sitting in my stash. I've done nothing with them. I think I'm going to weave with them though, because they're so dense, or they're just not very good yarns. So anyway, here we go. We're going to open it up and see what happens. I'm going to be very, very careful opening this. Now I chose, you can get it in a box or you can get it in the Mylar, I guess that's Mylar, this plasticky bag. This is their like option for the lowest waste packaging. So minimal packaging. And I chose the minimal packaging, although boxes are a little easier to recycle. So I may choose the box next time. There's no price difference. Oh guys, this isn't bad. Okay, I'm going to show you the yarn in just a second. So January 2021, it looks like the theme is shadows. Featured tree planting project. Thank you for joining us for our eco-friendly membership. I think that has to do with me choosing the eco-friendly packaging. And they're doing I'm not going to read this whole thing, but they're doing a tree planting project. Restoration project in the San Marcos mangrove in Guatemala. So I think that you probably can get some more information about this on their website, but I think that's a really cool thing. So the yarn they gave me, I guess the theme is shadows. So hold on, I got 2 skeins of yarn in here, and oh, something just fell out and I was like, what is that? They sent these. They're little, hopefully this won't be backwards, but they're little tags I can sew into things. So they say hand stitched with love and lots of yarn, handmade and non-regiftable. This took forever to make, don't ruin it. Funny story real quick I can share. I made a sweater for a friend of mine, and she looked really, really great in it. It was an oversized sweater. I did not know it was 100% wool yarn. I had gotten it at this store in New York that sold these big bulk bags of yarn. I bought a big, huge thing of it. It was this pink and black stuff, and it was kind of fluffy, and it felt kind of acrylic-y because of just how it was spun. Made her this beautiful sweater that she loved, and the first time she washed it, I told her, I'm like, always wash it on cold, always lay it flat to dry. It doesn't matter if it's acrylic or not. And I forget if it was like if she did it or if her sister did it or whatever, but she washed it on warm instead of cold, and maybe not delicate enough or something, and it shrunk so much on her. And she was so sad because she loved it. So this friend actually took up crochet recently. Not recent, it's been a little while, but she took up crochet a couple years ago and has been doing a lot of really cool stuff. Here's the yarn I got. I got 2 skeins of this lovely like bluish teal, very chunky yarn. And this is cool. I might look up this yarn and see if I can get more of it somewhere, because there's something I want to do that requires chunky yarn, and so maybe I'll be able to find it with this and get some more of this. Maybe I'll be able to make it with this, because this would look really cute with a couple of the skirts that I got back in March for my birthday that I never wore because I had nowhere to wear them to. So this is Audine Wools by KnitCrate. So it's an in-house company, it looks like. Sheepishly sharing Share What You Love. And it looks like the colorway is Dusk. The yarn is called Haze. Hazel or Haze, because it's got a little extra loop on the end. So the colorway is Dusk. 70% superwash merino, 20% kid mohair, and 10% silk. I don't feel the mohair right away on this. I have a problem with wearing anything that's more than like 30 or 40% mohair because the little mohair hairs stick out and they poke into my very, very sensitive skin. And it's a problem. So I'm hoping that I won't feel the mohair on this, but I think what I might end up doing instead of making the shirt that I was thinking about making, which is I want to do a chunky cropped tee. I'm really into cropped tees right now because I found some skirts that are going to look great with them. In any case, instead of doing a chunky cropped tee with this yarn, which is the first thing what I thought when I thought about it, I think I'll look into doing like a little bolero or something. But I have 2 skeins and each of them are 120 yards. So I have 240 yards of this yarn for plus all those cute little tags, and that was $5 because this is the introduction. And once again, the price will be posted somewhere. So I had spoken to some people. The biggest problem that I had with this is that it said it was shipped and then it sat with no more information for a very, very long time. And that's a problem. Like, it's a problem. You don't want you don't want to just say shipped and then not go anywhere for a really long time. I was really afraid that maybe I had gotten scammed. So I contacted them. I was expecting them to get back to me by Monday because I contacted them on a Friday in the morning, and if they got a lot of contacts, they weren't going to be able to get through, get to me very quickly. I'd seen on their website there's a lot of complaints about bad customer service and about them not getting back to people and about them not sending the December box before they took the money out for the January box. Things like that made me very, very leery, especially after getting burned in some other aspects of things like online ordering and that sort of thing. But they got back to me Tuesday afternoon. So I had posted on my Facebook, I'm like, I think I may have gotten scammed by Yarnbox because they're not getting back to me. And a bunch of my friends were like, just wait a little bit longer. Things are really slow right now. And I know things are really slow right now. I ordered a t-shirt from the Unis Honest store, back when it was still alive. And that t-shirt only just came like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And the same thing happened where it said it had been shipped. And then it got to like one point, I think it was like Massachusetts or Indiana or something, and didn't move for a really long time. So here's hoping that this isn't something that's going to keep happening. I think maybe they just got deluged with so many orders because they did this $5 deal thing. So I will see what happens. I'm happy enough with this yarn that I'm going to let it go for at least another month, and we're going to see. I may specify that I want something maybe in like the greens. Well, it's not greens, it's like in the neutrals. So like your greens and your browns, or maybe in like the blues, which covers like blues and teals and purples. Some purples. So we'll see what happens and go from there. The next thing I'm going to talk about is what I'm wearing, which you probably are wondering. This is the Tegna, Tegna. I don't have all of the information on it, but I'll put it down below because I have the worst memory and I don't write things down. I was so excited when that KnitCrate came in that I put on my makeup, I put on my clothes, and I'm like, I'm gonna go do this. I should have written down everything that I needed to know about this. So this is a pattern that I had a lot of trouble with. This is one of my quarantine knits, and here, I'll stand up real quick so you can see the bottom. So you can see it's a cropped little pullover. And it looks so super cute with this lovely striped skirt that I got from Torrid for my birthday last year. I ran out of the blue. This is the Barocco Mykonos yarn. It's this very, very slick yarn. And I bought the dark blue on a whim because the shawl that they showed it in looked gorgeous. It made absolutely beautiful lace work, but it was like very open lace work. So then I saw this, and I saw when I was trying to figure out what to do with that yarn, I saw a bunch of people had knit this top with it. Then after I bought the top, and after I had it knit, and after I'd shown it off a little, my wonderful, beautiful, well-meaning friends who like to keep me honest and also like to keep me in the know when things happen. um, the person who wrote the pattern has not the best reputation online. And so I want to acknowledge that. I'm not going to go into it because I don't really want to sit here and gossip about it, but it's very easy to find all of the information, and I can put the name of the pattern maker right here. And the only reason I'm sharing the name of the pattern maker is if you do like the pattern, you can go get it. It's very cute, it's comfy, but, and this is a very common problem with this very same pattern maker, is the neckline was all wrong in the pattern. And I've done some looking, and this pattern maker does a lot, and I mean a lot of cropped tops. They do a ton of cropped knit top patterns. They just came out with the Bernie Mittens pattern. So I was like, how did you figure this out so quick? And all they did was they took the colorwork pattern and they just put it onto a different sweater with different colorwork pattern. So they used the same idea. But the problem is that that sweater that they used has a known problem of having problems with the neckline where it's really tight. And in the pictures, see, let me just sweep my hair back. You can see how wide the neck is on this, which is one of the things I liked about it. I don't like things very close on my neck. We've talked about this before. So with this neck, when I first knit it, it was like it would have sat like this all the way around. And that is not the way it looks in the picture. Even in the picture of this on the Ravelry page for it, the neckline is still sitting. Like you can see my tank top, the neckline is sitting only maybe an inch above where my tank top is. So even now, even with all of the alterations that I made to this neckline, it's still sitting up really high on my neck. And I thought maybe it had to do with how I connected the shoulders. But then I went online and I looked at it, and lots of people are having the same problem. So if you do like this pattern, please know that you do need to have some understanding of pattern work if you want it to fit like it does on the model, because there's problems. There's problems, and there's no errata. They don't seem to do very much errata with this company. So it's a problem. I did my KnitCrate. I talked about what I'm wearing. This was one of my few finished projects. I finished a couple more. I'm going to do a whole video about finished projects when I'm done with my Motley sweater. You guys all know how much I love the Motley yarn. I bought so much of it, the Sugar Bush Fibers Motley yarn. And I was going to try and do some sort of weird fade where I used, they all had some type of gray in them, and then they had lots of different colors mixed in, and a couple of them had teal and a couple of them had green, and there was overlaps between those. And I was thinking maybe I could kind of like blend them together to make this like really cool stripe. That didn't happen. I'm too tired. It's 2021. So much has happened. I'm barely making it each day. I haven't done a video since last January. Like what even life? So there was no way I was going to do this really elaborate thing that I was thinking of. So I found a sweater pattern. I'll talk about it more when I finish it. And it's this really simple, you knit the front and then you knit the back and then you bring them together and you knit down. So you're not starting from the neck and knitting around. You're like picking up, you're taking, you're doing a provisional cast on, you're doing the front, you're picking up those stitches, you're doing the back, and then you're linking it underneath in the underarm and bringing it down. So I'm making it, it's going to be tunic length. It's going to go to about mid-thigh because I want to be able to wear it with leggings and not make my husband mad. Real quick, the make my husband mad thing is a joke. I have gone out in leggings without completely covering my butt, and he hasn't had anything to say. He's like, as long as you're comfortable, that's fine. But he does often like to joke that it's like, leggings aren't pants. You need to wear something that covers your butt. I usually feel the same way, but once again, it's 2021 and I'm tired, and sometimes I just don't want to wear pants or anything else on my bottom. I just want to wear a shirt. But I am more comfortable in a tunic top that way. So I wouldn't wear this shirt with just leggings. That wouldn't look right on me. So I just want to clear that up so nobody's like, oh, your husband's being controlling. No, he's not being controlling. He's the least controlling person in the universe, let me tell you. But in any case, I made it tunic length. It's going to go down to about my mid-thigh once it's done, I think. It might be a little bit shorter than that. We'll see. And then I have to pick up the stitches on the sleeves and knit those and knit the neckline, and then I'm done. So I'm almost done. I've got maybe, I've got the ribbing on the bottom of the sweater to do, but it's split. So I'm doing the front ribbing right now, and then I'm going to do the back. And I can't wait to show it off because I know that was one of the things I had posted on my Facebook. And I think it was my friend Cherie who had said this. I was picking my friend up at Target. He worked there. And I saw that Target had this new yarn, which I haven't seen in a while at my Target. Sorry about the creaking. I'm not in my usual chair. I hadn't seen the yarn at my Target that I go to now that's closer to my house, but I saw it at that Target, which was a really, really big Target that was right next to a Michael's. So it seemed a little odd to be like, oh, let's put some yarn in here when Michael's has 4 aisles of it. Like, what? Anyway, I was like, should I buy some of this and review it on my YouTube channel? And my friend, pretty sure it's my friend Cherie. Hi, Cherie. She was like, no, I want you to talk about like the yarn that I want you to use the yarn you've already talked about on it and talk about that. So I'm very much looking forward to talking about Motley because I had a lot of fun using it. It's a really fun yarn to knit with. The color pattern comes out as you're working with it, and it just looks gorgeous to me. It's so easy to work with. It's easy on the hands. It's easy on the eyes. They have a lot of overlapping colors, and so the top half of my Motley is one yarn, and then the bottom half is the other, and each of the sleeves is going to be a different one. But that's how the sweater pattern I'm using is worked out. So it's like the sleeves are different from the base. And there's enough overlap that from the top to bottom, it almost looks like it's been faded into a different, because there's just a gold color. And that's the only difference, is instead of the greeny teal that's on the top, it's replaced with like this mustardy gold color. And it looks, to me, it looks really great. Hopefully once I get it in these brighter lights, it'll look, you know, just as good. So hopefully I'm gonna have things set up soon where I'm gonna be lit a little better. So I know right now I've got the light coming down. It is not the most flattering thing in the world. I don't have a big window right in front of me like I did in my old place. But if I don't have a good lighting setup, because we are looking into getting something like that, if I don't have a good lighting setup, I'm just gonna set some lights down there so I've got lights coming from like more straight on. So we'll see. If you have any suggestions for lighting, please let me know. I would absolutely love to hear them because I don't know anything about this stuff. And I think that's going to be all for today because I would like to sit down with my daughter and try and do a little more sewing. We're working on some dresses. She wanted to learn how to do zigzag stitch on my machine. She's only done straight stitch, but I've got these dresses that are only 4 pieces. It's a top, a front, a back, and then 2 pieces of the skirt. So hopefully she's going to enjoy doing that. And that is all for now. Please expect me to be doing a kind of a roundup of some of the things around the house that I made over the last year. I don't have everything because a lot of it was gifts. Check me out on social media. I am Be My Full Moon everywhere except for Ravelry and Twitter, where I'm Aorai. That's Aurai. I would absolutely love to hear from you guys. Tell me how your 2020 was, what you did to keep yourself sane, anything you'd like me to talk about. I want to do some tutorials. If there's a knitting stitch or a crochet stitch you'd like me to tutorial, let me know. I'll do it. I can do it just fine. And even though my daughter's home from school still, I have 2 days a week where I can sit in my room and I can do videos, and I think I'm going to start doing that at least one of those days because it only takes about 25 minutes for me to make one of these. Well, that's not counting the editing, but I can do that while she's in class. So check me out, Pinterest, Facebook, Tumblr. Obviously Tumblr is not really that useful right now. Instagram. Please check out mine and my husband's podcast. It's Splainin' Movies to My Wife. S''PLAIN. Splainin', yeah, I-N. It's so easy when you're looking at it. Anyway, Splainin' Movies to My Wife. We are on Stitcher, SoundCloud, Podbean. I think we're on everything except for iTunes. I put us on everything except for iTunes. SoundCloud's the easiest because SoundCloud is where the main RSS feed is. So please check us out. We are really, really trying to get some more episodes of that out. We would love to see our audience grow there. We also have a Discord server. I will link down below. That is an 18+ server for now, until we can figure out how to better put protections on the not safe for work part of it. We do have a not safe for work folder there. So mostly so people can like swear and share some art that might be a little more saucy. So anyway, I will link that down below with all the rest of my social media. All of my social media will be linked down below. And I am so happy to be back into it. And I know that the last video I did, I said I'm going to start doing things regularly, and then I didn't. But the world was on fire for a while, and we're all tired. And now I'm just getting to the point where I am so tired and so depressed from the seasonal affect and the being stuck inside that I have no choice but to force myself to do something that makes me happy other than take care of my child, because I love taking care of my child and my child does make me happy. I am also more than a mom, and I think a lot of moms get this feeling. We are more than moms. And for a lot of us, mom is our number one priority, our number one job. But at the same time, we need to have more than that in our lives. And that's important to me to get out there. And so that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm allowing myself for 25 to 30 minutes to talk about my craft and the things that I love, and give myself an opportunity to be more than a mom. Which there's nothing wrong with being a mom if that's what you want. If that is what you want, if you say I am okay with being a mom and not having much else in my life right now, that is perfectly acceptable as well. It's not how I function. I need to have my more than a mom moments. So I hope you guys understand that. I just wanted to kind of get that out and share it a little bit, because I think it's very important to talk about being a mom and giving yourself time and space and energy for the things that you love that aren't your children. So, whew, that was deep. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I will see you guys all in the next video, where I will hopefully be talking about some of the things I have sewn and some of the things that I have knit over the last few months. And we'll see you guys all later. Bye.